truth is finally here. Hi fellas, Marty Runick from Top Gun PDR Training School coming at you again with some tips and tricks. Okay, we've all seen this plenty of times. You've got a brace that's not glued very well to the skin. Put a whale tail trying to get it out, and all the brace does is flex because all the glue's been cut. I designed this tool many years ago, and I'm having Ultradent make it for me if anybody wants to buy one. Give you a close-up view of it. You can put different extensions on here, on either side. Make it any length you want, and it's just adjustable by twisting or by putting different sections on. Simply stick it down the door. Now I don't have a window guard here. I normally would. I'm going to press against the glass just so you guys can see how it works. Put it between the brace and the glass. Let it rest like that. Take your same whale tail. Put it on the door. Nice and tight now. Much easier to take it down. Got about a 3-inch space from either side to do it. Takes it nice and tight for you. And even if you make your adjustment real loose so the whale tail fits in easily, the tool still won't slip. Okay, here's a close-up of the tool with the different size extensions on it. 1/4, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. And of course you can adjust the leveraging end of the tool simply by screwing on or off more adapters, and you can fine-tune with the screws if you need to. Okay fellas, again to show you how quick this tool goes in here. Simply put it on the door. Push it like that. And you're done. Okay guys, we run into this problem all the time. We get a dent in the rear edge of a long hood, and it's in an open area, not in a brace. If it's in a brace, we don't have any leveraging issues, but we generally do if it's in an open area like that because we can't get our fingers anywhere near our tool tip. Well, this is an adjustable leveraging device made out of an old hood prop rod, and we secure it on a brace and tie it down up front there so it's nice and tight for us. That brace does need to be fairly tight, so we put one end on the brace nearest the dent and the other on any part of the car that's appropriate here. In this case, it's on an alternator brace. Nice and tight, and we're ready to go. Now we simply slide our tool through that eye bolt, and our leveraging is super simple now guys. It takes almost no effort to take this dent out. This is a quick, simple way of solving a lot of leveraging problems in situations like this, guys. It works really well. Okay, most hood props come a little bit long for this, so I just take one of these cheap hood prop rods, cut it down on both ends. There's your eye bolt. And of course, you don't want to use a good quality hood prop rod for something like this. Just get one of the cheaper ones. Okay, this is about as short as I ever use it, right around 11 inches. And this is about the longest I ever used it, about 17 to 18. You really don't need it any longer than that, or at least I haven't found many situations where I did. And here's an oldie but a goodie. You don't have to buy some of the stuff out there that used to bridge braces. You just use your glue cutter, stick it through the brace, and now you have a nice stable leveraging platform to use your whale tail off of. We always want our tools, especially our accessories, to do double duty, guys. One accessory should do a wide variety of jobs. Okay fellas, we've all seen this out in the field, a nice bunged up hole. This hole was already there when I picked the door up at a body shop for one of my students. Some butcher did this. Guys, please don't do stuff like this. We're going to show you how to reinforce a factory hole, not a hole that you drilled, fortunately, because you shouldn't be drilling holes. We all know that. So how do you reinforce a factory hole so you don't do something like this? And we're going to pretend that that's our factory hole. And the first thing we do is clean it off with some denatured alcohol. Take a 1/2 inch washer, grind one edge flat so it'll fit against an edge. Clean the part you're going to put your glue on. Take your glue, put it around the washer. I always think it's amazing how people can call themselves paintless dent repair techs and yet leave a bunged up hole like this. I see them all the time here. Let the glue set a couple of minutes, and you take your tool, go through the hole, you got a nice reinforced hole to leverage off of. All right, fellas, this next thing is something I see techs do all the time. First of all, you always use a metal window guard, not a plastic one. Metal's more expensive, but the first window you didn't break because you used it, you more than paid for the difference in the cost. Put a curve in it that roughly matches the window. You don't use them straight, you want that curve in the window. Now we're going to show you this through the back side of the panel. Most techs really don't give a thought to what happens when they stick a window guard down a door, but you'll be able to see very clearly from the back side of the panel. So our window edge is in, and what we want is a nice, flat, tight bond with that glass. We don't want much of a gap there, fellas. If we get a gap in there, like we've got right there, if you put the window wedge in wrong, sometimes this can happen. See that? That's what's happening when you're pushing with your tool. So you're not only losing leverage, you're losing tool control as well. Let me demonstrate it with a tool. Okay, the heel of our tool, right there. I'm going to leverage right where my finger is, and that's what's happening, guys. As again, you're losing leverage and tool control when this happens. So how do we prevent this? Well, the biggest problem when we don't have a nice tight bond between your window guard and your glass is the angle of that window guard is going down the door wrong. Now, obviously, this doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, we need to correct it. And one of the simplest ways is to get a piece of plumber's pipe insulation, put it between the top of the guard and the inside of the trim panel. That'll change the angle that the window guard goes down the glass and give you a nice tight bond. Better leveraging and much better tool control this way, guys. So when you got your tool down the door, guys, and you feel all that slop in your window guard, just takes a couple seconds to make it right. It's going to reward you by giving you better leverage and better tool control. Well, that's it for today, guys, and if you think you learned something, don't forget to like us and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.